Well, here we are at the beginning of May, and it is trying to spit snow. And I'm just kind of over snow by the time May and June rolls around. So today I decided let's start thinking gardening, and I've been wanting to do something for a little while, and this is actually a perfect cold winter day activity. And that is, I'm gonna make an apron that I can wear in the garden. Now, I have one that a friend of mine had made for me, I believe, maybe as a wedding gift. And I like the shape, I like the size of it. So instead of using a pattern, I'm actually just going to use this as my pattern. And found some thrifted material in my box of materials. This is a canvas, so this will be nice and good and thick. It won't matter if it gets dirt, and it can handle a lot more than just like a nice cotton could. And I have some really old denim that I may end up using for pockets. So let's see how this turns out. So I'm Cece, and my husband and I homestead in the big beautiful state of Montana, and I'm ready to get my hands in the dirt and get some gardening done. So until I can do that, I'm going to think happy thoughts, and let's see what we can do here. So first steps are, let me get this guy. This is a pretty big piece of fabric. You guys, thrift stores are a great place to look for material. This is 1.5 yards, and I paid $2 for it. $3, sorry. And this leftover denim, I think came out of my sister's random box of materials that she's going to let me use. So let me... Can't even see what I'm talking about. Whenever you use something that's already been made as your pattern, make sure that you're leaving enough room here on the side, because we're going to end up hemming that under, and so then the finished product is going to be pretty much lined up with that. And the nice thing about it, if you wanted to adjust it, we could always make it just a touch bigger. I think, very little of that material kind of fall down. You know what? I think that's pretty good. I'm going to pull these in so I don't accidentally cut those. Now, if I wanted to do it nice and professionally, I would take pins and pin all along here so this does not move. However, this is just a garden apron. I'm not going to be super picky about it, so I'm going to make it a little bit longer. Make it just a little bit longer down here so I have enough room to hem it up. Now, I am not somebody who cuts very straight, but aprons are a great thing to kind of learn with, along with pillowcases, because there's a lot of room for mistakes without really wrecking something like you would a shirt or a skirt. Even skirts are pretty forgiving. Shirts and pants, those you have to be a little bit more precise with. Okay, simple as that. Right here's my basic apron. I am going to take it into my sewing room now and just go ahead and hem. I will probably do what they call a rolling hem or a double hem, where I'll fold it over once, fold it over twice, so then that way I don't even have any of the raw edges. And let's go see what it looks like. Okay, sorry, the lighting in here is not the greatest. Welcome to my old, very old sewing machine. Yes, I have a pile of mending here, but that's what happens. So, like I said, I don't think it really matters where I start. Just gonna start under the armpit here on one of them and fold it in and fold it in again. I always have to check the back side, make sure everything's actually stitching together. Okay, I just finished going all the way around. You can see the hem there. Like I said, it's not a big deal if your hemming doesn't turn out perfectly, because it's just a garden apron, so it doesn't really matter, really. This is the spot where I had to change the bobbin, kind of see a little bit more material, a little bit more thread. And if I want to, I can probably go and take a scissors and kind of cut a little bit of that out and make it look a little prettier, but I'm not too concerned. So here is, yeah, the basic apron pattern. Now my next step is to figure out a strap for going around your neck. I need to figure out if I'm going to do a tie style or if I'm going to just do one loop. And then I'll need to find something to tie the apron behind my back. And then I need to decide, do I want pockets or not? I think I do, especially since it's going to be more of a guarding. I want something that I can put, you know, just something random that I find, or like a little hand shovel or something. So I want to make it, you know, probably a pretty deep pocket. And I got to decide if I'm going to do one or two, or if I'm going to do kind of a combination, like one big one in the front with a divider. I just kind of plan these things as I go. Okay, I'm thinking I'm just going to make kind of a square for a pocket. Man, that would be really, really big if I went that way. I want it, you know, I want it pretty deep. Ooh, that would be way too deep. Maybe something about like that? We'll see. Okay, now I think I'm probably going to make about 2 pockets that size. So let's see what I think. Could I do, I think I want to go up and down. And up and down. See, this one just has one right here in the center. And I don't really like it on the center. So I'm kind of thinking about doing it here on the side. Instead of figuring out where I'm going to put these pockets, I think I'm going to go back and actually put the ties on and then like hold it up to me and figure out where I want my pockets. Actually, I went looking in my stash of material, trying to figure out, this would actually make a really nice apron as well. Which one do I want to do? You know what, if I'm going brown, that's my pocket. I think I'm going to go that route. Now I got to see if I have enough to make some really long ties. That should be long enough. Question is, can I cut straight? Okay, so I took the tie from this apron that is already made, and sure enough I found a stretchy material that is long enough. So to make it easier to work with, I think I'm just going to kind of cut a square, and then I can cut 2 long ties. And then this one they have, she got it, and this is actually the perfect one for my head, but I don't know how I'm going to measure that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Any of the professional sewers out here are probably like cringing at me, but I don't care. So right now I'm going to make this into 2 strips. So I am just going to make a very simple, very simple thing. So I think I'm going to go ahead and stitch this right along here, and then I think I'll work at pulling it inside out. I thought about going ahead and rolling the hem and rolling it and stitching it together like that, which actually might be easier than flipping it inside out. I might do it like that instead. Here's my 2 ties to go around my waist. Then I'll come back out and figure out what I'm going to do for the neck piece. So before I start making these ties looking pretty, I came up with the idea of why don't I measure how much I need. So about here, I have a piece of scrap. That's too short. Okay, well, that's about how long I need it, so I'm just going to cut my neck piece right away. It's too. Okay, gonna go stitch this together to make it look like this, and then I am going to turn all 3 of these inside out. And I think, in theory, if I put a safety pin through this, it'll help me. Okay, I'm going to take this and just fold it in a little so I don't have any like thread wanting to get loose. Match him up right here. Because this is very thick right along these seams, a lot of times I have to kind of just move this wheel by hand and not use my foot pedal. And now I'm going to go backwards. And I'm going to go forward one more time. You're going to be able to see that raw edge there just a tiny bit. Bummer. Next time, maybe I'll flip it the other way. Okay, I think that'll work. Okay, now the other side. Oh, I did that completely wrong. See, now look, when I want to pull on it, it's going to pull like that. For this side, it was nice. How much is that going to bother me? That's gonna bug me. I'm gonna have to pull the stitching out. This is called a seam ripper. And of course, I reinforced and I went forward and backwards. So now I have 2 layers to rip out. At least it's a very small piece. If you do any kind of sewing for any amount of period of time, get used to ripping out seams because mistakes happen. And yes, you could leave it there, but like I said, that is something that would bother me. Most times I'm pretty easygoing and I'm like, yeah, who cares? Nope. This one is not one that I am going to be okay with. I know I would regret it, and I know I wouldn't like it in the future. So I'm like, you know what? We're going to rip it out right now. It's really not too bad. And I'm about done already with that part. I know why I did it. I was trying to put the raw side a little differently, and that's just not going to work. I'm going to have to put the raw side how the other one is. There we go. And now we need to, I better make sure I do this right, or I am going to be mad again. Okay, if I do it like this. How did I do this side? Oh, I did it going outward. That's why. Did it like that. There we go. Let's try it again. Much better. Now back out to the kitchen table and see how we want to do these pockets. At the rate today's going, I don't know if I want pockets. But I'm going to regret if I don't do a pocket, I'm afraid. But I've not been on top of my game today. I've been making mistakes left and right. Good thing it's just a garden apron. Okay, this comes down a little bit farther than I would like, but it's doable. So I'm gonna back up. Comes to about my knees. I'm gonna tie it on. Now my pockets. Yeah. And so when I'm up here a little higher, so when I put something down, right about here. Where's mine? There. Okay. Always losing my scissors. He's gonna want to roll on me. I'm gonna have to try and figure out a way to get him to lay back. That could be fun. I am going to have to literally muscle this seam or this hem to go the other direction. And I'm going to hem all the way around it to create a pocket. And then I will sew this just straight on the apron. Okay, pockets are done. I decided to leave this up here. This is hemmed in a certain way that I don't think this is going to continue to fray. You can kind of see back here on the back. So that'll kind of make a nice decorative edge up on top. So here's my 2 pockets. Now I'm going to go get the apron and we're going to actually stitch the pockets on the apron. Then I'm done. Okay, it's a little hard to see from here, but right there is my mark, and I marked that as kind of the center of my pocket. So I am going to start with the... This is a testament to how great these old singers are. This is really, like, this is denim, and just going through it. Even though I had marked where I wanted them, when I came right down to it, I made sure that this pocket here is completely even with this pocket here, and they look pretty straight on to me. So now it's time to start with this pocket. Go try it on. Yeah, they're pretty big and deep, but that'll work. The last step I have is to go through and find out where all these threads are and just trim all the threads off. But you guys, if I wouldn't have done these inside out and these ties being inside out, I probably would have saved myself minimum of 20 minutes to a half hour. So I think from start to finish, maybe your first time will take you over an hour, but I bet from start to finish it could be close to an hour. The other nice thing is if you don't want to wear it as a full apron, you can kind of just fold it in and then just wear it like that as well. So I think this guy is going to go hang out in my greenhouse, and he will serve a job like an apron is supposed to do and help me stay a little bit cleaner. As you can see, this shirt, I don't know what I was doing, but I obviously didn't have an apron on. I wanted to just close with this saying. As you can see, there's a whole pile of toys in there, and I made several mistakes making this apron, and instead of editing and making sure that everything looks perfect the first time around, I have made it a goal of mine to show you guys what real life looks like, including mistakes that I make, messy house. You know, I couldn't get a really good angle in my office where my sewing machine was because there's just too much junk. And we all have those rooms, right? And we all make mistakes and we all learn as we go. And sometimes that's what happens. And I show you guys something that I've not done before. Yes, I've made aprons, but not this exact style. And so there's times that I make mistakes, and I would rather show you guys and show you guys the real us than to try to edit everything and make it look better than it really is. So hope you guys are encouraged by that and know that this is just us being real, messy and all.